Hey, Reese ND Card Ranger here again. I thought I'd share today a few of the cards from my vintage collection, as well as some pickups I just got from Mike O and JT at their auction last Saturday. So it came really quick. Thanks, guys. At first, this photo in the back, it's a signed, very young Bob Feller auto. My neighbor actually gave this to my son. My son is 6. I explained to him who Bob Feller was, but I want to take care of it. So right now it's in with my other, collection, taking care of it for him. But obviously that's my son's, and my whole collection will be his someday anyway. But awesome photo and autograph of Bob Feller. I just love that. So I wanted to start off with some 1953, Redmond cards that I had in my collection. I actually got earlier this year. So this is let me just zoom in. You can see a little bit better. There we go. So start off with Robin Roberts. And, I love the Whiz Kids, so I collect a lot of Robin Roberts and Richie Ashburn and shout out to Westergriff, Puddinhead Jones, all those guys. But Robin Roberts obviously is one of the best ever. Hall of Famer, Whiz Kid, just unbelievable player. But he was actually a big basketball star at Michigan State before he officially decided to go baseball. So obviously a great athlete as well. Next one, another member of the Whiz Kids back in 1950, Granny Hamner. Great shortstop for the Phillies through the late 50s. I think 59 or 60 he was traded to the Indians, but great career, team captain in 52. Just another fun guy to collect from the Whiz Kids and through the Phillies. And then last but not least, I have to throw in good old Richie. When I got this card, let me zoom in here. When I got this card, I read this blurb and I said, toe-headed Richie is one of the speed boys of baseball. And I had no idea what toe-headed meant. And maybe some of you do. much smarter than I am. But I looked it up, and basically, to sum it up, in early years, they would make ropes, tow ropes, and they had this light-colored flax that they would use to make the rope. And that light-colored flax looked blonde. So if you were, especially a child and stuff, they would say you're a toe-headed child or toe-headed, and that meant they were blonde, and that's what Richie was. So pretty cool. Now he had a lot of nicknames, and like Whitey. I'm sure you know Whitey. The one that is my favorite that I want to share is Putt Putt. I don't know if you ever heard that before, but the reason it's my favorite is because Ted Williams actually gave him that name. And so if you ever read anything about Richie Ashburn, they asked him why. Basically, Ted Williams gave him that because he said he ran as if he had an outboard motor in the seat of his pants. So I just thought that was a cool nickname for Richie Ashburn. There's Whitey, and where did he come from? Tilden, Nebraska he's from. So they called him the Tilden Flash. So a lot of cool nicknames. Of course, I had to throw that one in there. So I'm going to sneak in just a little bit of my Western vintage here, just real quick. That is Tim McCoy. He is one of the first, Hollywood Cowboys. This is a 1936 Dixie lid. I love collecting these Dixie lids. One, they're cool. Two, I just like, looking up on the back. They always have an interesting story of, the company or, the ice cream, whatever it is. And I did look this one up, and there was when I looked it up, there's a small carnivals that traveled on the eastern coast back then in the early 1900s, and the guy's name was Arthur Abbott. So eventually he settled in Rochester, New York in the early 20s, and boom, Abbott's Ice Cream. So originally it was, what do they call it? Not ice cream. Custard. He did custard, but then it became official ice cream in the 1920s. So this is a 1953. Here we go. Rex Allen. So, and this is a top set called Who Z at Stars. So Who-Z at Stars. And it was just basically a post-World War II celebrity. I think it's 60 or 80 cards in the set. Like Gene Kelly and those type of guys. Spencer Tracy and the popular stars back then. So this is one of my favorite cards. The other reason this is cool is you can look this up online. Tops. I'll put the link in the description. But this was made with what they call the Flexichrome, like painting and the way they called out colors and things. It's a really interesting process. I'll put the link down below. But that's why this looks so kind of vibrant and jumps off of the card because of the way that they actually made these cards. So that is the Arizona Cowboy, Rex Allen, and that is his horse, Coco. All right, enough of my Western, right? Back to baseball. I picked this up from JT, his auctions. So obviously this is a 1975 Phil Niekro. I did not have any slab Phil Niekros or really good vintage Phil Niekros in my collection. So wanted to pick this one up. Love it. Phil Niekro, obviously, huge career. 300 wins, 3,000 Ks, knuckleballer, Hall of Famer, you name it. So I was really happy to get this beautiful card. It really is gorgeous. So love that card. Next one, I did pick this one up from JT as well. Little Sandy Koufax here. So it's a 1966 Koufax. Off center, again, not perfect, but beautiful, registration, color, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's really nice card. So really glad to have that one. This one I picked up from Mike O. And this is a 1972 Lou Brock. And obviously Lou Brock was the stolen base leader before Rickey Henderson. So just really happy to have this Lou Brock card. Add that to my collection. I love Lou Brock. And I'm going to add on none other than Richie Ashburn, 58 Topps. I did have this card raw in my collection, but I thought this would look really nice in a slab, and it did. So when I saw it, I jumped on this one as well. So that's it. I just want to share a few of the cards that were in my collection and a few pickups I just had. And I hope everyone's doing well, staying safe. We'll talk to you soon.